Alright, now let's go in the game screen, which is the screen that we have here. So inside the game screen, where is game screen? First let's start with these methods here, the game itself. Let's move all of these inside our provider. We need to read the state of the game and everything from the provider, not direct here. Okay, so what we are going to do is let's just cut all of these. Let's Control X, it's Command X on the Mac. So you can see we have a lot of errors here, so we'll fix that. Let's go back to our game provider, and then up here I'm just gonna paste and then remove what I've already put there. So for the player, we know that we already put the player. We can remove the player. Okay, and then the bishop game, we need to import this. So let's go back to the game screen and then just get what we already imported up here. Copy that. Yeah, you can even just cut it. Go back to the game provider and then let's import this. Go back again and get this one also. You can cut that, game provider, and then paste it. And then next is let's initialize this game, the app here. Okay, so let's put an underscore here because we will also create a getter. Then let's do equals to bishop. So bishop game, and then the variation, we have the bishop, the standard variation that we want, bishop dot variation, and then so variation dot standard, the standard one. Okay, then let's close this. So we have initialized the game. Remember here, inside here we were starting it and then we were initializing it somewhere. Yeah, here it was on the reset game we were initializing it here. Okay, so now for the state, let's also do the same. Let's put an underscore and then let's initialize the square state. Square state, we can remove everything inside here. We just say initial dot initial, and then the player, which is black or white, let's put white, so which is 0. And then what else? The AI thinking, let's just put the underscore here, then is flip the underscore. So of course let's get the getters for these. Down here we can just say, what is that? Bishop. We will say bishop game, bishop dot game, and then let's get the game, which will return us the game on top. Okay, and then for the state, let's put the square state. Square state get, we can name it as a state, which will return our state of the game. And then what else? The AI thinking, which is a boo get AI thinking, like that, which is going to return our AI thinking. And then also boo, let's do a get, which is flip. It's like a flipboard, which is going to return flipboard. Okay, so therefore we have this method, we have the getters for this, and then we also create the setters for this as we move on. So now let's see the other thing that we can transfer here. So let's create this method, the reset game. Okay, so let's go back to game provider, and then up here let's just down here you can just say reset game. So here what we need, let's just create the void method, reset game. So let's require a boolean. So this boolean, let's name it as new game. So this boolean why we are requiring, because every time we reset game we want to check if it's a new game so that we can put the scores as 0. So if it's not a new game, we can continue with the scores, something like that. Yeah, just to check if it's a new game or continue play. So first let's check if it's a new game. All these features we can you see them later on as we go. So also the other thing to check if it's a new game or what, we want to check if you were white in the previous game. If it's not a new game, if you were white, we want to give you black. We change your pieces. If you are black, just like what happens in chess, you can't always just play the same color. Okay, so let's say check if the player was white in the previous game. Okay, and then let's say change the player. So let's do if player, we are checking currently just when the game is finished. If player is equals to squares dot white, we will set it to black. Player will be equal to squares dot black. Okay, and then else we do the opposite also. Player will be equals to players dot white. Okay, just like that. And then so that's it if it's a new game. And then else, let's just reset the game like the same way we are doing here. Okay, so what is that method? Let's just go ahead and copy this. We can copy this, come to the game provider, so reset game. So here it's a game up above, then this one is a state. So this is a player like this with an underscore, don't forget that. So that's it. This is a reset game method that we have here. So we can go ahead and also remove this. And then let's also create the flipboard method. Go to the game provider, and then let's say void flipboard. So for this one it's simple, we can just say flipboard will be equal to a not flipboard. Okay, like this. Let's see what's the error here. So we have this name here, so let's say what can we name it? Let's say flip the board, like this. Then let's notify the changes. Let's see, did we notify the changes in our, yeah, here we also need to notify the changes. Okay, so this one, let's also notify the changes inside here. And then the other method to create is AI thinking. Okay, this AI thinking, let's come down here just below the flipboard. Is, let's say, set AI thinking. Set AI thinking, which is going to return it's going to pass in a bool, which is the value. Let's say AI thinking will be equal to value. Let's notify the changes. All right, okay, we are moving. Let's go back in the game provider, and then now let's start calling our method. So let's see. So first of all, here we can to call this reset game, you know that up here we can call our provider class. So what we can do is let's make this as a function like this, like that, and then let's say final game provider. Because to context dot read, you know that we are reading our game provider here, and then let's say game provider dot reset game. Okay, now we can call that. So is this the new game? Let's say force. Okay, and then down here for the whole game, so let's instead of doing this again, because this is the inside the app bar, that's why I've just done it here, we can wrap this with the consumer widget. If we want, we can also just wrap the entire scaffold here, but let's just wrap this. So put the cursor in front, go and click here and wrap with the widget. So let's wrap this with the consumer. So this consumer is for the game provider. Then we are going to have a builder, which is like that. And then now this value, let's name it as game provider. And then here now we can return this column. Let's cut that and then return our column down there. Then we can remove this child and close the column properly. And then now for these methods, now we can be calling the game provider. So this flipboard here, we're just gonna check if game provider dot flipboard, this one, we're going to, so we say game provider game provider dot state dot flipboard. So the same way, we're just going to put the game provider in front here. Okay, so this game provider is the one that we have renamed up here. Okay, and then the state also, we just need to call inside the game provider and call the state, which is in case you have forgotten, this one, the state here, the getter, this state that we are calling, which means we are getting this state. Okay, and then also here we just need to go inside game provider, and then that's it. So now the other thing is this on move here. Okay, so before we, so this one we already done it, we can remove it. And then the reset game, let's call it inside the game provider as well. So here inside the init state, let's go back to our this one here. So let's cut this from here and then put it up here. Actually, we already have it up here. Yeah, we have game provider up here. There was no need to call it inside here. Okay, so here also we need to put this as a function, then call game provider dot flip the board. Okay, what else? So here we need to copy this as well and call it first inside here, and then say game provider dot reset game. Then here we know it's a new game, so we're just gonna say true. Okay, so on move, for now let's comment it so that we test what we have done so far. Where is the error? We are still having an error. So okay, we are having an error because we have commented the on move here. Let's uncomment it, and then let's just comment the things inside here. So let's comment everything here. Okay, let's now test it. Go up here and run it. So the application has started. Let's see if our changes worked. Let's go versus computer, then let's go 5 minutes, and then let's play. Okay, we are having an error because this, we are calling this when the class is starting. Okay, so this, if it's checking if it's a new game. Actually, this is not even a new game. Oh yeah, no, it is a new game, but here we need to call false because we're calling it on just when the screen starts. Where is that? It's let's call it as a false. Then let's just go back to our method one more. Okay, so this only happens if it's this new game boolean is true. That's when it will change these squares, else it's going to do this. Okay, so let's try it. Stop it and run it again. So we have changed this to false so that it doesn't call this notifying. I should have removed this, but let's just try it as well. 5, and then let's play. So we're having the same error because we don't need to call this notifying on the when it's starting. So let's remove it. Now it's going to run because the notifying will only run if it's a new game, if the new game variable is true. So let's open it and then let's try it again. It should work now. Let's pick that and let's pick the time and then let's play. Okay, so great. We haven't done the on move and the times are coming. So now you can see that the board has started, and then now we are reading the game from the provider, not inside the game screen. Okay, so everything is working fine for now. Now let's work on this on move.